You know, golf is a funny game. Sometimes you're striping them right down the middle, but sometimes you're not.
So I have 91, playing 94, and into a half club win, so a full gap wedge.
And sometimes you fire wedges right at the pin,
That wasn't great.
but other times you don't.
So this isn't the proximity I wanted from 91 yards, but I should remind myself that I'm not a tour pro. I'm not going to always stick them to inside 10 feet. Big sweeper.
But golf is not a game of perfect. And whether you're a beginner or a tour pro, it's a game of mitigating big numbers, and not a chase of perfection. And it's also about playing to your miss. Speaking of which,
No course knowledge. I don't know what happens on the left. So I'm going to try to take it over the tree then. Oh, that's that same miss I was just talking about. It's a mile in the air and 100 yards. That's my miss sometimes when I try to roast them. See the mark on top of the driver?
but the single most important skill I've harnessed as a handicap golfer is resetting before every shot.
Short-sighted here.
It's enabled me to score far better than my swing deserves to, even when execution's off.
Wanted to leave it below the hole, but not there.
And what better example than this? 2 bad shots on this hole.
Stroke hole 1 here, 435 uphill the whole way.
After my miscue on the last hole, I try to stay within myself on this one, regardless of how far it goes.
Yeah, middle of the fairway, but a long way to go. 200 here, playing 209. So this 5-wood carries 200, and so there's a chance that it won't even get there, but that's all I've got. Uphill lie, too. Just try to hit it well.
I also accept that stroke hole 1 isn't a scoring hole for me, unless I string together some great shots.
Yeah, I got there. So I'm working with 2 slopes here. It's uphill towards the hole, but the whole green falls this way, so as this putt's breaking, it's going to pick up speed.
And I'm thrilled to have a birdie putt here, but the greens at Wailea Blue are far more undulating than they appear. Fortunately, the pace on this one's good, and I'm happy with the par.
I wish I could convey smell through the camera. It smells so good here. It smells like what Seth Rogen called the Pineapple Express. Anyone get that reference? What did he say the Pineapple Express smelled like? Anyhow, we have 160 here. It's a bit downwind. Greens are firm, so I'm hitting a 150 club.
My club selection here isn't driven by ego, but by honestly evaluating the elements. This time correctly.
Another really steep putt here.
But I mentioned that sometimes you have it going, and sometimes you don't. And this time the undulation catches me by surprise.
I'll finish it.
And in a rush to finish up and get my camera out of the way, I miss this one from close range, and settle for bogey.
Okay, this one's no joke. 540, downhill tee shot, but it's against the wind. And I haven't played it, but it looks tight off this tee. I think it needs to go up the left.
Some lessons with Swingtweaks have me hitting a way better trajectory with my driver recently. But this one's offline.
I don't know if that's good. I think that might be trouble, but I don't know yet.
This one winds up right of the path, where I have to take an unplayable.
So 290 now. It's more wide open than anything I've ever seen, so just hit the ball, I guess.
And I mentioned the importance of mitigating big numbers, but this shot does me no favors towards that goal.
Because, like, you want to bring it in from the right, but if you leave it short right, then you're short-sighted. So I think I'm actually going to aim a little left, even though that's not great. And the ball's above my feet.
There was a lot to consider over this shot, primarily not leaving myself short-sighted. And even though I managed to do that, the pitch in is also tougher than it appears. It winds up long, where I have my most difficult putt of the day to a hole that may well have been cut in an illegal position.
Actually, that's in play. I don't know how to hit this putt anywhere respectable.
I'm rehearsing a short stroke and hoping to apex this ball at the right spot.
That's about right. That's a great putt. That's as good as you can do there.
And despite Steve's praise, look at where this winds up. It's an 8-foot uphiller for double, but at least I knock it in.
Oh, Adam!
Another bad one here.
183. Yeah. Mine says playing 190. I'm not quite sure how.
But I follow it up with a great strike with this hybrid that seems to be tracking right towards the pin.
It should be really good. This is a scary putt.
The pace of the last one spooked me, and it leads to this.
I thought that putt was going to absolutely fly off of there.
And after a great start, we've suddenly found ourselves on a bogey train. But that's out of mind on the next tee.
Into like a 1.5 club wind. It's 137 playing 124, but I'm hitting my 140 club. This could even be a 2 club wind. So if that's the right number, it's great. Oh, it might go in. Oh!
We're still waiting for our first career ace, but birdies are fine too.
Alrighty.
And it's time for us to talk about Swingtweaks. I'm not hitting drives like this by accident.
Nice.
It's because of a grip change. We went from here to about here. The grip change mitigated the snap hooks I was hitting earlier this year, and it's the type of swing tweak that required a professional eyeing my swing. I don't mean to rag on anybody, but I receive boundless unsolicited instruction. I'm told to shorten my swing, to hit up on the ball, and other advice. It's all well-intentioned, but genuine gains aren't realized by applying generic advice, but instead through personalized instruction. That's what Swingtweaks provides, and they do it for a fraction of the cost of in-person lessons. It's as simple as filming your swing, submitting it in the app, and receiving tailored instruction for your swing. Literally thousands of you have signed up already, and with the positive reviews piling in, this is my push for the rest of you to sign up. There's still time to make gains this golf season, and if you use the code NOTASCRATCH at sign up, you'll get 20% off your first tweak. Back to the golf. It's just a wedge in on 9 that I do manage to plop on the green. And finally an uphiller here that I can be aggressive with, but I still don't quite get it to the hole, and will settle for a tap-in par that concludes a 4-over front 9. I mentioned in the intro that it's a strange game. At times on the front I looked like a hero, and other times a 0. I hit my fair share of poor shots, and unfortunately failed to scramble when missing greens on the front. But 5 greens in regulation is batting above my average, and we also had a birdie offset a double bogey.
170 playing 183.
The back 9 at Wailea Blue starts with a par 3, and before going to work, we'll help Steve read his putt.
The biggest tell is just the general slope. Yeah, I think we're uphill, up green.
My read here is right, but it's hard for Steve to commit to a read his eyes don't see. And now it's my turn.
Oh, come on.
Unfortunately, I get some bad luck.
Went through a landmine.
It's a bit of work left for par now, and I don't quite make it.
Hit a good tee shot, robbed. Hit a good putt, went through a minefield.
I'll put it behind me. And here on 11, I start with a drive on a good line, but uphill into wind, it doesn't go that far. And take note, golfers, an uphill shot that goes 200 isn't reflective of your driving distance, but nor are the downhillers that go 300. In any event, I'm left with a wedge in on this par 5, and now another long lag putt. And I'm not thinking about the few misfires I've had with these today. I walk the putt to program in its true distance. It's decently done, and I do make the par.
Brief rant about a pet peeve in golf. The displays in golf carts that are supposed to show you GPS info. I find anytime there's info you want on those screens, it's not there, and it's always peppering you with info you don't need. Like, enjoy 10% off.
Another long par 4 here, but with an elevated tee and a big high draw, I am able to get this one out there. But what happens next?
164 here. It feels like we're half a club into. Yeah, I'm going to take an extra club. Oh yeah, we're definitely into.
I'm trying to get all of this one, and I do this. And with the ball buried in the grass, it's another bad one. The strange golf is continuing. This one gets on the green, but I'm left with a long putt for bogey now. It's tracking, but not quite. And we'll card a double.
So this is another really tough hole. The green is like 50 yards wide, but it looks like it's about 15 yards deep. 175 into, like big time into. I'm gonna aim left. Can I get my 5-iron there? Sure gonna try.
A smart target here allows me to shape this one in here. And after some problems with the 5-iron today, we'll take this one.
Yeah, it's pin high left.
It's my first makeable birdie putt since the 9th, but it has a bit more movement on it than I saw, and I actually have a bit of a tester coming back for par. But I knock it in. I mentioned it's important to be realistic about your club yardages. I hit this one well, but it's thanks to wind and elevation that it's my longest of the day.
So 104. Wind feels like it's going left to right.
The reward is my favorite pitch and putt number.
Yeah, it should be good.
And it winds up about a pace short of the green. And another putt that looks flat on camera, but actually swung a good 4 feet. It's a bit high, but I'm thrilled with par here.
So 190, I think the wind's hurting a bit, and the pin's right at the front. Anything short's in the water. So I'm gonna hit a 200 club. Oh, that ball's wet, almost certainly. Oh, no splash. Okay.
This tee shot did catch the second water hazard, and with 50 yards in, we're staring down the barrel of our second double bogey on the back. Even that's going to require a decent lag putt, but fortunately we hit one and tidy it up. It's warm out here, I'm swinging free, and it's another good one here on 16.
Okay, same number, 103. This time there's some wind assist, I think.
And I'm feeling good over this one.
Oh, shit. Go!
But it's a miss. And things don't get any better for me greenside. I bladed a wedge out of the bunker, and now it's a chip that runs quite a bit past the hole. And I mentioned that double bogeys are score killers, and by the time all is said and done, we card back-to-back ones here on 15 and 16. This is a nervy one for me. It's quite a bit of elevation gain to the fairway, and fortunately I hit one high and on a good line. But this shot, I don't know. And 180 isn't the number you want in on a par 5, but immediately on the heels of a poor strike with a 5-wood, I flush this hybrid and wind up with a great look at birdie. It comes up a bit short, but I'm happy with any 3 from 180. And on to 18. We waited a while to tee off here, and it might have given me too much time to meditate on it. And on the final hole of the day, I'm hitting hybrid from only 165. The wind's been a factor all day, and even the hybrid comes up short. Now it's just one more lag putt to cozy up and get out of here. But it's been a strange day of golf, with lots of good and lots of bad. And you don't love ending the day using the flat stick 3 times. But that's golf. And looking at this card, it strikes me that my best 9 holes today combined for a score of 1 under, while my worst 9 combined for 13 over. That's what double squares do to a card. Indeed, it's a volatile game of ups and downs. But I know that my driver swing is beginning to sort itself out, and with the rest of my game relatively unaffected, I should be able to card some decent scores in the near future.